Okay. So for this evening, I wanted just to study a bit Rick Beato's work. I really like what he does. I really like his videos and so on. And so, he makes those quick lessons that are a bit quick for me. He goes really fast and I like his face right now. I'm a huge fan of what he does and his experience and how he's sharing. It's very interesting. So here's a quick lesson.
A sus2 and use the A Lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major, B major, A Lydian, D sharp diminished, E major, E sus4. Connect them with scale tones.
Okay, so truly speaking, I guess the only thing we can get for someone who's not very strong in theory like me is like that at the end. This is something I understand. But of course he goes through all those chords and all this mode and this scale, and he plays around and it sounds so nice. And I think you're just like me, you'd like to understand and go a bit deeper and just to be able to sound like this, okay? So let's start again, and I will just pause each time there's something we might want to understand better, okay?
Quick lesson. So let's say you take A sus2 and...
Okay, so he says, quick lesson, let's take A sus2. So what is A sus2? Well, basically it's a chord, right? So the A sus2 he plays is this shrine, right? So this is the A sus2. Actually, I didn't know this shape before. So the one I was used to is this one. So it's roughly the same sound. Personally, I like this one better. It's easier to play. I mean, you can mute you have to mute the E string well for that. So I will just find any blank fretboard, or actually maybe I can use this one. That would be so. This is from Guitar Streams. I'm really thankful that I could find this interactive fretboard on the internet. I'm not affiliated or anything to them, but it's just a free tool you can use, so it's nice. So basically you have the entire fretboard with all the notes right there. It's quite large. I will just go a bit faster because I know what's coming. Well, let's listen. Let's listen first to what Rick has to say. Let's listen to Rick.
Quick lesson. So let's say you take...
You see, you recognize the shape here I used.
A sus2.
A sus2, right? We got it. So this guy, not this guy. We're learning, right? So A sus2. This one. You can add this one. It's okay because it's another E, right? So he plays this one actually. So this chord, you see, A sus2.
And use the A Lydian mode.
And use the A Lydian mode. So what is the A Lydian mode? A Lydian mode. So what is a mode? What is, we can try to understand all of these. A Lydian mode. So go on the internet and you see a bunch of pictures with some fretboards and so on. Okay. From very, you see, I like this website. You have different shapes and everything, but for those of you who don't know exactly what a mode is, and I'm not sure I understand it perfectly, but I'll be happy to try to understand it and try to explain it to you. I think a very good way to illustrate that is to play with a piano, right? If you use a piano, you have the notes just in front of you, and you can then understand what's going on. So let's find an interactive piano online. I guess we can find some very easily. Virtual piano, okay. There we go. Here's the piano. Can you hear that? Yes. Okay, so, oh, actually you have the, that's cool. All right. Can I zoom on it maybe? All right. All right. So here you have the C, right? And what a scale is basically a group of notes that go well together, just to put it simply. So if you take the C major scale, it goes from C to an octave upper that. So it's those two notes here are the same, just separated by one octave, and one octave is just a doubling of the frequency of the note. So frequency, the note is an oscillation. It's a wave, and if you double the frequency, then you get one octave higher, and you can go further, or you can divide by 2 the frequency and go one octave below or even below, right? So, and if we keep this note as a pedal note, so what a pedal note is, it is simply a note that is used all the time, so you keep it in the background, kind of. So it's E. And so if I play all the other white notes that are in between, here, between, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, then I am on this major scale, which is also known as the Ionian scale. So if I keep E as a pedal note, and then I play with the other notes here, so you see all those notes, they go well together, and of course if we play them one after the other, we get the very well-known Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. Okay, now the mode that Rick is playing on is the A Lydian scale. So A means that the root note, the basic note, is no more the C, but it's the A right there. Right, this is the A, you know, A, B, C. So this is the A. So first, if we want to construct the A major scale, then you have to find the notes that have the same frequency spacing between, just to have the same scale as before. See, for example, in the C scale, you had 2 steps, 1 step and a second step here, so 2 steps. So if I want to find the A major scale, I have to do the same thing, 1 and I. So this is the second note of the A major scale, see? And then, and so on. You see that the third note of the C scale is 1, 2, 3, 4 steps further. So if I want to do that on the A, it's, and then I need 2 steps, so 1, 2. Right, so this is the A major, and then, and so on, I can continue. Sorry. Sorry. So this is the A major scale. You see, it sounds the same. Sorry, I'm not very good at piano. So you see, we had the same spacing between the root note and the other notes as in the C scale. So same thing starting from A. Let me mix it again. Sorry. Still have to learn. Huh? Actually, you have to trust you here. You know that the next note is close or far from the one you're playing right now. You see from the C. You see the distance between those two. Those notes are really close, right? And if you play them together, you have this extra modulation because the frequencies are so close, right? So that's why you know how they're close. Okay, so this is the A major scale, but what we want is the A Lydian mode. So that means the distance between the notes will be different. That means there's a difference that the fourth note is sharp. So let's go back to the C scale to see what the C Lydian is. So that's the C major again. Okay. And if you sharpen the fourth one, 1, 2, 3, you see, that's the sound. So you see the sounding of this mode is, it feels a bit awkward, a bit happy, it depends. You can, you see musical modes. You can associate some feelings and some emotions to the different modes. You have various modes: Dorian, Lydian, Aeolian, and so on. So I won't review all of them, but maybe this one. Here we go. Here you have some description. Here it's all what I've been saying here on some scores here. And if we go to the Lydian mode, you see that you have to augment the fourth here, as we said, right? Okay. And so you have different modes right there. So the cool thing is that you can now kind of hear and listen to this mode and how it's working. Okay, so let's go back to the A major scale. So that's the major. Sorry. But now we have to sharpen the fourth. So 1, 2, 3. And so it's no more this one, it's this one. Right? Sorry. Right, so if I keep my root note, you see it's the fourth, it's really this one that gives this. Sorry. play the fourth. Sorry, it's this one. This one. Right? So that's the Lydian mode. Now, how does this translate on the guitar? On the guitar, you of course have at some point to learn a bit where the notes are. I've been playing guitar for years, and actually I never learned very well the notes. I spent most of the time learning a few chords and then playing around with the pentatonic minor scale, because it's a scale that you can learn the diagram quite easily. So you can learn a bunch of diagrams here. I can show it here, the minor pentatonic scale. Usually we learn it in E, and so you have this diagram, and so you don't have that many things to understand because you can kind of easily remember the shapes. And the big advantage of this scale, the pentatonic scale, is that you only have 5 notes, so you have very little or even no dissonance in this scale. So somehow, if you listen to any, I would say, modern song and simple song, and even going to rock or to, I would say, regular, if that makes sense, regular types of music, not too complex music, basically, you can just grab your guitar and try to find what the root note is. So just listen to it, and then here the root notes. The root note is E. So usually you start by learning one shape. So usually we learn this shape here, and so then you play around and you kind of solo over it quite easily, because you have 2 notes per strings and you can go from one pattern to another. And then the root note is kind of your home. It's where you go from and where you go back. So, for example, if you have any so that's the E minor. So right now I'm playing an E minor right there. I can show it to you. So I'm playing this E minor here. Right, so you have the positions here, the position of, maybe my guitar is a bit too loud. Let me just put it. And you see, it's very cool to start to learn the guitar with that, because quite easily you see the E minor notes are right there, and all the open strings are good in this to play with. So if you have a chord progression, so let's say a song that is based on such a chord, for example, you have Civil War from the Guns N' Roses. So I'm not very well tuned. I should adjust that. Sorry. Here we go. I will cheat with my tuner. Here we go. Okay, so right. Go away. Okay. So the E minor is right there, and basically you can play. You also see another chord right there, which is the G chord. You see, if you take this G, B, and then open string, and maybe add a G over there, you end up with the G chord. So it's this one, and it's quite easy to go from one chord to the other, because you can put your index finger right here, and here your how you call it, the biggest one. I don't know how to call it in English, I don't remember. Okay, the main finger, let's call it that way. So, and then you can add, of course, the G over there. If you can also open it. It's then a different, slightly different chord. You see, it's G6 because I guess this is the 6th. But okay, that's the one I'm playing right now. So you can alternate between this one and, of course, the E minor I was mentioning. Okay, so that's not that's something that is very well known. For example, in the Guns N' Roses song I was mentioning. And so if you record that, for example, let's loop that. So let me just bring my looper right there. Okay. So now I can just play on this diagram of the pentatonic minor scale, which is a simple scale. So let's just... So of course the song Civil War doesn't just alternate between those two chords, but it's... so I can play basically, you see, on all those notes right there. So, for example, the open string. So you see that there is a home note. This is the E. And of course, when we go to the G chord, then the G becomes the home note. So we go from E. So if I try to play around, so what you see here is one octave up, so that's the open string here, and that's the 12th fret right there. And so I can just hang around. I really like this shape actually, because you have the root note at the end, so it's kind of easy to start from the root note, for example this one, and to end on this one. E and then go to this one. It's not always usually it's not a very good choice to start with the root note on a solo, because when you start an improvisation, the best thing is to kind of surprise maybe the audience. So for example, if I start with the D maybe, it's a bit more interesting than just because we're already at home, right? It's nice too, but and of course then you can spend years. You see, so here I'm on this one. So of course you can play two strings at the same time. That gives this nice sound. You see, ending on the A is nice because you know that it's not ended. You have to pursue the message. Okay, that was a little mistake here, but you can always, even if you play a wrong note, then you know that you can reach one which is good. And actually, I did develop some. You can develop some playing just memorizing the scale and then try to hear what's going on. And for example, I kind of knew that I could play those notes here in between. Those transition notes right there in between two notes that are available. But I also know that this one is really forbidden because you see this one is really close to the root note, so it will generate a lot of dissonance. Really, this one seems really far. But this one seems okay. And actually all those notes belongs to different scales, so I cheated a little bit. But you see, you can play forever like this and on many songs, because the nice thing about this is that if the root note is not a E, then the whole pattern will just translate. For example, let's say the root note is not a E, but it's the I don't know, let's say E sharp, F, because E sharp is F. You see, you have the exact same pattern that now is translated. So you have the same thing, but everything is just sorry, everything is just translated, right? If you go to G, you remember the G note was right there, so let's just find this G root note, and then you get the whole row of open strings that we had before here is right there. Okay, so then you can just play around, and this nice pattern we had that was at the 12th fret before, now is translated by 3. And you retrieve it, of course, here at the beginning, because this fret here is exactly the same as this one right there, right? So now I'm in G, right? And also, you when you start to play, you of course want to bend your strings. So bending, of course, I guess you know that, but is like stretching the string to change the tone and usually to go higher. But you can also use if you have a Floyd like me, and you can cheat a bit. But yeah, so for that, you usually bend towards the root note or other interesting notes anyway. You can also bend in the other way. And so that way you because in between the notes you're trying to reach, you have some notes that are out of the scale. And so you kind of explore what's around the pentatonic scale without knowing what's going on, but just by listening. So if I'm still on the, or if I can go back to the E minor. I'm so used to this one, right? And that way I can keep the E as a pedal note here, so the open string, the lower string. So, okay, there's a little trap here. When you bend a note with an open string, then the open string, of course, is detuned because the entire tension of the guitar is changed, you see. So you see, it's just a semitone, a single step bend here. So actually this note is an A, then you have the next one here. So it's right there. So this one doesn't belong to the E minor pentatonic, but it sounds nice. And you see at the same time that this note, it brings much more, I would say, flavor. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's much more, it has a stronger identity than the other notes. You see? So simply by playing the pentatonic scale and bending some notes, you discover you discover some notes that are out of the scale. And just by so you see this one doesn't belong to the scale. Right now I'm playing right, so it's this note right here, so just below the G, so G flat. Oh. See? So you kind of discover other sounds and usually you add them. For example, there's a nice example I like to take most of the time is the Purple Haze solo. So Jimi Hendrix plays Purple Haze, this wonderful song. So, okay, this is the way I play the E major, but you can also play it over there, but so this is an A, okay, so you have those three chords in Purple Haze. And so you can play on the pentatonic minor, of course. If I, let's say, okay, my loop is not very nice, I will do it better. Okay, it's because I'm not starting on the right time. Okay, it's just an example, right? So okay, it's okay. I can play the. Oops, sorry. Oh, right. So yeah, now you can see my neck. I can play the pentatonic minor, but if you recall Jimmy's solo, you see it goes like this. You see, so he plays on this note. You see it's at the scale, you know. It's this note right there. Oh, sorry. So you find it in the Dorian mode right there. It's a C sharp. You see, so you have another. This is another mode, and by playing this note. So you already have another sound, right? All right. Okay. Okay. So that was a long explanation on on what the modes are. You have different arrangements of notes like this, and if you look at the major scale of the C, so basically it's what we had here on the piano, so just the white notes here from C to G, to B, sorry, from C to B. So just those white notes here translate into this kind of headache diagram. I agree, but it's truly the same thing. You see, you can hear. Okay, so it's a bit more complicated, but basically it's that way because it's the same frequency spacing between the notes that we have to reproduce. So that's the major scale. Now remember the Lydian scale we have to augment, to sharpen, so to have the fourth sharp. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see this F note here will be the F sharp, this one too. So I can play it that way. So if I keep the root note, that's the Lydian sound of C. If I just keep the major, the Ionian mode, so that's the major mode. So you have this interesting sound. So remember in the guitar, if we have a root note that changes, the whole scale can be translated on the fretboard. So that's the major advantage compared to the piano, because right now I guess the piano seems much easier, especially if you want to change the mode. But when you need to change the root note, then you have to remember the steps between, like I was, you know, when I was trying to play the A major scale, it took me a while because I had to remember the whole step, half step, whole step between the notes, right? So we need A Lydian. So we can basically translate this entire scheme onto the A. So you see that the C is right there, and so our root note now is the A. So we can of course use the website here. And so now we have this new scheme. Let's compare it to the C just to make sure we have the same arrangement of notes. Okay, you see. Sorry. Oh, right, that's a mistake. So let's go back to C major scale. You see that the C note is right there. So you have somehow to try to memorize the shapes. One shape that I remember very well is this one. So you have 3 notes there with the same spacing. Doesn't start on the root though, this scheme, but it's a good one. You see? See, if I start on the C, right? So you have this scheme with the 2 same distances here. So it makes it easier to learn. Right? So right now I'm right there. Right? So you have those schemes are quite easy to memorize. I guess you have to practice. Of course, we have we have to practice them, of course, as often as possible. Okay, so now let's turn to the Lydian, C Lydian. Again, the F becomes the F sharp, the 4th is augmented. Okay, and right. So the shape I was using before is different now. If let's go back to the union. So these symmetries are different now. But if you remember the intervals, then you kind of can anticipate what's going on. So that's why it's better to learn at a quite slow pace the modes, just to make sure to have them in the fingers, I guess. I'm not saying I have them in the finger yet. Right? Right? Oops. So if I start from the C. Okay, so let's go now to the A. So that was hard to see the translation because the colors remain the same. But you can see the same scheme as before, starting from F sharp. Before, in the major mode, Ionian mode here, you had the symmetry. If I just put this major like this, you have the major, the symmetries right there. And of course now the 4th degree of the scale is D, so this becomes D sharp, right? If I go to Lydian, there you go, right? Okay, so let's just check something. Do we have the A sus2 chord in that? Well, the A sus2 chord is A, E, A, B, E. So we have this shape. We can also find Rick's shape right there. So you had A, and then this one was muted because you see it's kind of hard to reach those notes with the fingers anyway. This one is played, B, and then you can leave, you put your finger here on the E, and then you can even possibly put the finger here on the A or not, because the E is also present there, right? So we have the A sus2 again, like this. The one that's playing at the beginning of this quick lesson, right? And so then Rick tries, well, he doesn't try, he does it very well. He shows us the different triads you can play on this Lydian mode.
Some of the triads from it, like
some of the triads form. So what are the triads form? Well, the triad is a group of 3 notes that constitute a chord, right? And actually here on this interactive fretboard, you see some of the triads here, okay? So what I wanted to do is, I guess, here we go. I'd like to copy, let's put the guitar back. So let's just copy paste this screen here. That's the fretboard of the oh, sorry. The fretboard of the A Lydian, right there. Okay, I guess you can see it clearly, right? Okay. And now, I think a very good thing, very important thing when we try to learn the guitar is to have a notebook or somewhere to write stuff down, and so that we can read over them and work the things out. So this is the A, oops, sorry. Okay, so this is the A Lydian mode. So maybe it's a good thing here to recall that you just have an augmented fourth, right? And this augmented fourth right there is this D that goes to D sharp, right? Okay, and then let's just put our at very first the 2 chords we've been looking at. So you have the A sus2, A sus2 chord. So the A sus2 chord is this A note here, the E right there. So maybe I can, so that's the A, or maybe I can do something a bit nicer. I will just, so yeah, this note here, this note here, this note here, this one and this one, okay? You also have the A sus2 that Rick was playing, which was involving this note right there, this A open right here, this one was muted, this B note right here, and this E note. And you see already with two, so you have the A sus2 here, and you have another A sus2 right there. Okay. And so now let's just consider the triads, the other triads Rick is mentioning. So let's go to his video.
A major, B major.
So he said A major and B major. So A major. So let's find some other colors. So A major. So you have to find A major chord somewhere in there, and of course we can have a look at his fingering, right?
A Lydian, D sharp diminished, E major, E sus4.
So let's listen
Connect
to
them
that.
with scale tones.
And I guess what's interesting here is that it connects the chords with the scale. So it's not just playing the scale without any purpose or in any direction. It tries to have the chords ringing. So we'll try
Quick
to tell
lesson.
that.
So let's say you take A sus2 and use the A Lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major.
Ah, he went too fast. A major. Okay, so where is A major? So for A major chord you need so that's the 12th fret right there. So that's the E major. He mentions here the E major. So maybe we can find the E major first. So I guess it's right there. The 12th. So it's between, you see you have the 12th fret right there. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the B major, sorry, that's what he said, B major. Okay, so that's this one. And maybe we can just grab the guitar and see if that works. So that's another triad, B major. So that's the B major. So of course you can, so that's the triad, and you can also see them right there. Do we have the B major here? You see? That's the exact note I've been looking at those notes right there. So is the one B major is this one, right? And you can also add the D sharp here, which makes it not a triad anymore. Well, yes, it is still a triad, sorry, because it's the same note right there. It's D sharp here. So right, and so of course before that you had A major, and the A major, let's put it in yellow. You have the A note here, A major, and it's the same shape. So the A major is also has this well-known D shape here. That's the D shape of the regular D chord. Remember the D chord, the one on the at the top of the neck here. Oh yeah, it's because I left those string opens. Here we go, the string opened, sorry. That's the D chord, right? So you have this D shape, this kind of triangle, right? So you have this guy here, and then he adds this guy, so that's the A major. And you see, you can kind of already, if I let the S's to ring, you see, if I just play on those two triangular shapes here, I have some nice. You see, we so just by playing those two shapes right there, so so this is two triads already. Let's go back to another triad. So actually we could see here the A major one right there. So A, C sharp and E, right? And B. So that's the two first you can play on. And of course, if we add all the triads he'll be mentioning. So where are those? Oh, sorry. There we go. So A major, B major,
B major, A Lydian.
A Lydian. Actually, I don't know what A Lydian is. So maybe let's just find out on the internet. What is the A Lydian chord? It's a good thing. A Lydian chord. So I guess it's an A with an augmented fourth, right? That's what I would guess, because the augmented fourth is the thing that characterizes the Lydian chord. So it's with the fourth Lydian mode, so Lydian chord. So it's a major 7th, sharp 11th. The sharp 11th, so I get the 4th and the 11th of the same thing, being a compound augmented fourth. You see, hey, I'm good. So this is built on C. So I guess the A Lydian on this interactive fretboard, I guess it's close to the A, but with the augmented fourth. So maybe it's A Lydian. So the augmented fourth of the A is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need this D right there, this D sharp, to have this augmented fourth, right? D sharp is the augmented fourth in the case of A. You see, that's right. We wrote it down, right? You see, D becomes D sharp. So, and you see, it goes a bit up. So let's just see his fingers. Oh, maybe we should play
D sharp diminished, E major, E sus4.
E sus4. So we'll
Connect
go
them
to
with
this
scale
one.
tones.
Beautiful. So our goal is today to be able to play like that, right? We're all striving to
That.
like that.
Quick lesson. So let's say you take.
So now we're masters, right? The first 20 seconds of the video, we understand everything. A sus2. So yeah, okay, let's take A sus2, Rick, no problem. All right, just a minute, Rick. So A, I block this one. Here we go. No problem.
Let's do and use the A Lydian mode. Take some.
The A Lydian mode, no problem. And then augmented fourth. Right? Alright, I'm still here.
The triads from it, like.
Okay, so the triads. So A major, am I right? A major. Listen to that.
A major,
B major, okay. No problem. And then
major,
A Lydian. So you see, look at his fingers. He needs all four of them. Maybe not. So this is the A Lydian. See. Okay, I guess his index finger is relying on the 12th fret, and his pinky is on the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Where is my interactive fretboard? Right. What did I say? Index is on the 12th, so I guess here. Maybe I should show a lydian 16th. Yeah, that's this one, I guess. So you have the E here. Well, he holds his guitar like this, so he has a much easier access to the high notes. But he's a pro, you know, I'm just so you have the E right there. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, if I play C sharp, I still have the same. But he adds the D sharp here. Right, that's the D sharp right there, this one. So you don't have the C sharp anymore, I guess. Or is he adding something else? But I think it's just that would be the A lydian, if I understand well. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm still learning. But you see the ease with when he plays that, so he knows all this by heart because he practices a lot, of course. Again. And then this guy here. This one is forbidden. It was forbidden in his Aces to record. Maybe we could add this one. It's the E, but it's already there in the high string, in the yeah. So E and E, right? So I guess we can just skip it. I don't know if he plays it actually. So this is the A lydian. Let's just write it on our fretboard here. So I would say A lydian. Let's put it in green. A lydian. So I guess it's A plus the D sharp plus a E. Right. So A lydian. So it's this E there, this A there, and I missed what is needed here, but it's here, it's the D sharp, right? Sorry, I'll just make it nicer. Right there, D sharp. On the next, actually I have something to help out. So if I should put the next fret right there. Alright. And again, the D sharp. That's the D sharp right there. Okay, that makes A lydian. And we have another one, A lydian.
D sharp.
D sharp diminished. D sharp diminished. Well, we're lucky. D sharp diminished, right? So why is it a diminished chord? It's because you don't have you have no fifth in that chord, right? So that's why those chords are they sound ugly by themselves. For example, in the A major, in the C major scale, the B is diminished because you don't have a fifth, and so the sound is kind of weird. And I always wondered how we could put that in any song or in any piece. That's the B diminished, right? But of course, if you understand better the whole theory and when you can play those, then of course it can add some tension before resolution. So he mentions the D diminished, and so I don't know where is he actually on the fretboard, but it's a bit high, so I hope I have enough. But you see the D diminished is over there, so I guess I'm gonna miss some notes.
E major, E sus4.
E major and E sus4, so let's just write them down. So you have the D sharp. So D sharp diminished, E major and E sus4. So actually we can this is the 12th fret, so we can also let's say we can also explore this position because it's the 12th fret anyway. So you see the A Lydian that I was talking about earlier, it could be also written here because it starts with this E here, this D sharp here. You see, I can put it here, D sharp here, so it's the same as this one, and the A here. So we have the A Lydian. So the D sharp diminished. So the D sharp diminished. Let's look at the content of this chord. It's D sharp, F sharp, A. So D sharp, F sharp, A. So let's put that in parentheses. D sharp, F sharp, A. So this is how you study, right? Actually, I should have changed my. Oh, it's more a guitar lesson. Can I change the title of my stream? Highlight video, stream webcam, stream settings. I should have. No, I still want to see. I want to do streaming. I'm just wondering. Whatever. Manage. Okay, whatever. Anyway. Whatever. Okay, sorry. So D diminished, D sharp, F sharp, A. So let's just pick what is. So I guess it's this one, F sharp, D sharp, and then A here. Sounds possible. Let's have a look at his fingering.
Connect them with scale tones.
Okay, so that would be here if I go back to my, right there. Okay.
And use the A Lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major, B major, A Lydian, D sharp diminished, E major, E sus4. Connect them with scale tones.
Okay.
And use the A Lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major, B major, A Lydian, D sharp diminished, E major, E sus4.
Let me just find the E sus4. So D sharp diminished.
So
you see a lot of
take some of the
content to
triads
study.
from it, like A major, B major, A lydian, D sharp diminished,
Each time
E sus4. Connect them with scale tones. Quick lesson. So let's say you take A sus2 and use the A lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major, B major, A lydian.
A lydian, okay, so now we're good.
D sharp.
D sharp diminished. I know. So it's on the 16th fret. Looks like this, but he plays it like this. Yeah, I guess his index player is playing. Okay, I got it. So, okay, let's write it down. So I don't think I'm right here. It's mostly this one. Okay. No, that's D sharp diminished. Because that's the 12, 13, 14, 15. Right. And 16th, yeah, 16th, so D sharp diminished. You see, I think we have the right one. D sharp diminished, right? We're good. Let's go back to this guy. Alright, D sharp diminished. So there, I cannot really add them. E major. So where does he get an E major? You see here is at the 12, there's the 15th position. So the E major, here you have a E. So I guess the E major, we can go to the, of course, the interactive fretboard right there and show the E major. So I guess it's this one, right? Or those three notes, either with the D shape here or either with the I would say A minor shape, I like to call it. So that would be if I'm right? So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? Yeah. A major and E major, sorry, E major. So let's add this to our list. E major, so I should have changed the color actually. E major, let's put it, what color do we have left? We have this yellow here. So E major, no, we don't see it. So let's say this blue, E major, and so I said it's this guy, E major, because it has those notes E, B, and G sharp, right? That's what we have. E, B, and G sharp, right? Okay. And E sus4, so E sus4 contains, so I said E, B, and G sharp. And so sus4, so I guess it's like this. Let me remember what a E sus4 contains as notes. E sus4. E sus4 chord. I just want the notes. Yeah, okay, I got the shape, but I'd like the notes. 7th fret, 12th fret. Yeah, that's not this one. Oh yeah, okay, E sus4. Like this? So it's kind of the let me just look here. What is E sulfur there? E sus4. Up. So yeah, actually yeah, that's could be this one too. But I'm not sure actually what he plays. Let's have a closer look.
E sus.
So you have the 12th fret here, and so it's right there. Is it this? I'm not sure. E sus4. Let's see what. So it could be here, yeah, and here. E sus4. It's not exactly what I got. E sus4. Left-handed, okay. E A B. Ah, okay, E A B. So E A B. Because it's kind of here, right?
For connect them with scale tones.
Okay.
Lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major, B major, A Lydian, D sharp diminished, E major.
Right. That's an E. Oh, like this. Okay, so that's the E sus4, I guess. If I look closely, that is a fingering right there. It's just around this 15th fret. Yeah. And so that makes that would be the F sharp here, the F sharp, the E, and the B. So E, B, and F sharp, right? So that means the G sharp is becomes, so instead of having E, G sharp, and B, we have E, F sharp, and B. So the G sharp, which is the fifth, I guess. No, it's the yeah, no, the fifth is still there. B. Right. Okay, that's it. So that would be the E major, and this is the E sus4. So it's another. Okay. Okay, so it's this B, E, F sharp. All right. E sus4. Let's have last color. This one is ugly, but we're learning. E sus4 is E, B, but F sharp. Right, and it's right there. E. No, not here, sorry. You have the F sharp here, the E, and the B. Right. Okay, and so with all of that, you have the Lydian scale. And so, of course, he has this kind of pedal tone behind the guitar that helps a lot. So I can do something a bit similar very quickly with my looper. Right. Let me just connect the looper properly. So again, right, and also in my headphones. Okay, let's put the looper right there. So we'll just add a pedal tone right there, and then just try to play around with the little fretboard diagram we just made. Right. this pedal tone, and we can play now with, of course, our loops. So the loop is going on. I can have it reverse, sounds a bit more spacey like this, and then I have this entire fretboard to play with, right? So remember the A major, the A lydian, So I don't know if you can hear what I'm trying to do, because I'm not as good as Rick Beato, of course, but so there are different ways of playing, but if I just go through the scale, for example, play with those symmetric position, this geometries I was mentioning, because here you recognize a major scale geometry right there, you see? With this so it sounds nice, okay? But going just through the scale is not as original, I would say, and doesn't sound as nice as compared to if you want to make some shapes and some chords ringing. So you see I was alternating between this B major and the A major because it's the one I can see better. Small intervals right there, those little shapes are quite... Okay, so if I try to put the guitar the way he does and try to access the higher part of the neck. So this is where he has those other shapes right there. So that's the E sus4 again. I'm here below the 12th fret, you see, so you have this highway of notes right there. So that's always very interesting because you can play double notes, double stops, how you call them. Made a little note out of the scale right there. insist a bit on the D sharp, right? Oops, sorry. See right there, that's the E major, E, B, B, E, G sharp. And so the fourth is ringing. So of course I'm not pretending to do as nice as Rick Beato does at the end, but you see the principle. I will just reduce a bit the sound of this, just to keep having this Lydian idea. Okay, and so of course now to practice on this, I guess one of the cool idea is to either write a chord progression that uses the Lydian mode, or to find a song that uses the Lydian mode and try to hear and use this scale. So of course a trick is that I use a lot, and I don't know if it's a good thing, but I use that a lot. You see this major shape that is quite easy to remember here. I can use it, but of course the root position won't be the same. The root here is A, and the nice note to insist on is D sharp, right? So whereas when you have a major Aeolian scale on the root is right there. Right, so it's the major scale of E, because it's this shape, right, the note spacing of the major scale of E, but applied to moved so that it corresponds to the notes of the A Lydian. So the home position will be different, right? Oh, sorry. You see, I'm kind of used to go back to this root note. In any case, it doesn't sound so bad, because the E is also a nice note to be. But here you clearly see I'm really home right there. So here insist on the fourth right there. I didn't know exactly where I was just playing on this shape I know, but you can hear. It's really this one that gives this note, this sound. So I guess that's the A Lydian. A, D sharp and E. And so you see at the end Rick Beato uses this chord. And then his tapping is right on the D sharp, right? just to have this beautiful sound and Lydian sound. So I guess it's where is the D sharp again? It's right there. Am I right? Let's just check it out.
E sus4, connect them with scale tones.
Here.
Quick lessons. Let's say you take A sus2 and use the A Lydian mode. Take some of the triads from it, like A major, B major, A Lydian, D sharp diminished, E major, E sus4. Connect them with scale tones.
Alright, so a good exercise to play with. So let's just maybe find. So noodling is not the best exercise anyway. But it's all what we like to do anyway as guitarists, right? That's why we pick up guitar. So right now I'm on the minor pentatonic. Let's just check. Something that is nice to check is the minor pentatonic I'm used to fitting in this. And maybe from the shape I know I can just add a few notes. That would be cool, right? So let's have an idea here. So the minor pentatonic applied to A. I'm on A Lydian right there. So the A is here. So actually it's not right. Because right there is, so if I play the pentatonic minor, you see, I have the C. And C doesn't belong to this Lydian, to A Lydian, right? It's B. So it's not working. Too bad. However, since in the background we just have a sus2, of course it works on this minor pentatonic. Have a look at the minor pentatonic again. We have the notes here of the A sus2 plus, except we have the C sharp here. But it doesn't bring much. It's just a note that wants to go very quickly to C sharp, you know, the C. But it's not that bad. Actually, playing the minor pentatonic with the C here, or here, adds another color. It adds a minor color to the A sus2. Okay. All right. It's nice. But then a good idea is to alternate between this minor pentatonic and this Lydian. And another trick, which is really nice, I believe, is to try to find the pentatonic shape that is in there, okay? And you remember, there is this major scale shape here. So I guess it's for a beginner guitarist like me. I mean, it's better if you can have that in mind and then play around it. That's even better. But the best thing I would suggest is to grab a few part of those and see how they sound. But let's find a pentatonic shape there. You see right there, so I don't remember how you call those shapes. Maybe I can just again, let's go back to my channel here. So we'll just add another fretboard here, okay? And let's see if we can determine a pentatonic shape out of this. Right there. Maybe I could just, I think I will add another, page après. There we go. So again, so that's the A lydian, right? And let's just, I will just add here the pentatonic shape from any scale, we don't really care. So of course not from A, but that would be cool, right? To C, maybe C sharp, right? Because it looks like we have what we need. Let's try C sharp. But pentatonic. Minor. C, E, okay, let's just copy and paste this. And if we're lucky, then it will fit. There we go. It's a bit bigger. Let's try to have something with the same size. Otherwise, it will complicate the discussion. Right. So, what's from? Okay, there are more frets on this one. That's why. Sorry about that. So actually, that was the best one. Let me just add it again. Okay, I think we're good now. All right. Okay, so you see, I was looking at is this shape right there with this guy here, those 3 notes here, and those 2 notes here. So if you go to C sharp and you play, so do we get all the, okay, we have C sharp, we have F, E, G sharp, C sharp again. We don't have the D sharp anyway, that's too bad in this pentatonic shape. But we have this pentatonic shape right there, okay? So that's interesting. That's why it's cool just to sit down and look at the scale and see how they connect and just practice it, because then it will be much easier. We have to memorize one pentatonic scale and then move it to be in another mode, right? So for A lydian, so again that's the A lydian, okay? And this is the C sharp minor pentatonic. Okay? We also have this shape right there, which is quite easy to But again, if we have a look here, we don't have any D sharps. So that's too bad, because the D sharp is really the signature note. And okay, we can be pretty sure now, if we look at the other positions and everywhere, we don't have any D sharp there. That's quite normal, because remember, D sharp is the fourth degree of the A, so it's the sharp augmented degree of the A major scale, and here we have the C minor pentatonic, so it doesn't have all the, we're not very lucky. So it's a pentatonic, that is where you add here, but you have another way of saying this. You have to add this guy right here. So let's just put the D sharp wherever it is. You see? So I can just play again. That's the A minor, and then if I go to C sharp, so I'm adding the D sharp now. And then let's go back to the regular pentatonic. So there, I don't add any note to this minor pentatonic yet. There to a more Lydian sound. Now the trap is I have underlined this D sharp, but if you notice, and I'm just noticing it right now, that's why it's the best way to teach is to learn at the same time. You see the root note A is here, so that's kind of a problem. You see the root note, so it's out of the C sharp minor pentatonic, so you have to add the A, right? Otherwise it won't work that well. I'm just working on the scale, right? But it could be that so you can just then work on some we can just work on some finger exercises. For example, let's just climb this shape here quickly, or missing every other note and so on, just to have a different sound. That could be interesting too. Yeah, or just descend it. working on it is to learn the is maybe to complete the another pentatonic, or to complete the major scale. Not to complete, but to modify a bit the major scale. So here we've noticed that the C minor pentatonic is quite nice, but it misses the A, which is the root. So that's the problem. So all those notes are okay, but you don't know where to land, and it also misses the D sharp, which is, I would say, the signature of Lydian. Signature, right? So maybe we can find another thing and compare the A Lydian to the major scale. And you remember on the piano, it was quite easy. If you remember the virtual piano, if you just take this to go from the C major to the C Lydian, you just have to modify the fourth, right? And also for the A. The fourth, you see, goes well with my loop, right? So we just had to modify the fourth from this to this. Actually, this sounds weird now, huh? Even though it's a major, we should be more happy with that. But since we have this Lydian sound for how long now? Already 1 hour or so, something like this. I don't see what time it is. Oh yeah, 2 hours now. So for that. So maybe we can find the A major scale. So we know already the pattern. So that's the A major, right? Oops, sorry, I have some connection problems. So the fourth. Oh, sorry. The fourth is right there. Okay. I don't know if you can see it clean, but the A. So if I play the A major scale, it doesn't feel home anyway. This. Where are you from, right? You're a stranger right now. Should do this one. So maybe we can find a little chord progression to work on. So let's say let's start a chord progression A Lydian. We see what the internet has to offer us. 5 Lydian chord. How they work? Here's one. So that's for the C again. You see you have the F sharp for the C. So starting from C, interesting, right? Very interesting. So here you have some examples, but on C. So I should be able to connect it because C, that means so C is the first chord, so it's a major chord. So okay, so it's like any scale. If you want to find the chords, of course you need to use only the notes that are in this mode, right? So oh, okay, if I remember well. So let's go back to my. So we are on the Lydian A, right? Oh, yeah, that's something else, okay. So if you just so here I found a few chords, so that's why I looked at the triads here that are found in this Lydian, and then I played some chords that I know, so very off the shelf, I would say. So I played this E major, right, which consists in those notes E, B, E, and you have this G sharp here, and B and E again, right? So the triad of this E major chord is this one, okay? And so it's allowed within the scale, so I know it's a chord I can use. Of course I have the A sus2, but I could also use the major A here, and then here we can clearly see a B chord, right? So let's just try. Do that again. So again, a chord progression that can be used. Just find the chords that you can see within the scale, right? So it's not too complicated. We can see this E, the E major. If you look at here, that's okay. That's the E major run. So we have all those notes, and we find them right there. E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. Okay, so that's a chord we can use. We have the A sus2, of course, that we've been talking about, so let's put it in there. And also we have the B. We could also add another one, depending on how it sounds. Here we have the G sharp here, but it's a minor chord, so you see you have to play the minor, so I will use a bar chord here, maybe. Let's just see, where's my looper? Here's my looper. So okay, I have to be ready to click on it, right? I mean, it's very strong, right? Oh, I made a mistake. That's why it's not the G minor. It's the G sharp. All right. Because that sounded so strong that it sounded off the key. Actually, you see all those notes that weren't at all in the scale, in the mode. So let's just try. Why not? It sounds nice. So maybe something a bit more. So I can play this one, this G, right? Because it's the minor third of the E, so that makes it E minor, and then we're back to Civil War of Guns N' Roses. So it's a nice song, of course, but it's not really Lydian. I like this E with the seventh, I guess. But it's not allowed it's not allowed also because that opens to the D string, and we don't want a D string, we want a D sharp. So actually that's sounds nice too, right? This. But we're more acquainted with this one anyway. How the from the G sharp to the A. So that's I mean, this is what's so interesting with the modes, because that opens a lot of things to compose and create some music, because instead of just keeping with the same tens of chords we have learned, we have much more possibilities, right? So you see this G sharp minor. That makes, and so that's also another comment I have, is that okay, the Lydian mode and some modes are known for being sad or happy or colorful or weird, but you can make anything sound weird. Well, actually I can, not necessarily on purpose, but yeah. So of course this sounds weird because you have the A, which is very dissonant with the G right there. So it could be just before resolving to this is forbidden too, sadly. Okay, let's try maybe this one. said. So did it work very well? Let's put hold. There might be a mistake. So there's something weird happening here. I guess on this G minor. I guess it is so strong that we want to play the minor pentatonic. Actually, we have a minor pentatonic right there on the G. No. So from what I hear, there are different time in this chord progression that I just randomly found, and on the G here I can play the minor pentatonic G sharp. So then I was G sharp. Then A. Okay, so it's a bit fast for me still. So now I am on A. So I can play Lydian all the time, but I can also, strengthen the chords when I go through them. maybe let's record a simpler one. That's normal, I guess. And just go back to what we learned here. Here you have some examples, but in C. Yeah. I remember learning that two chords that are major next to each other, so G and A, so I guess A and B major. Okay. One song from Jane's Addiction, I think. Jane's Addiction is Jane Says is based on two major chords like this, and this is in Lydian, right? But I remember those were. Sorry. So that's between G major. So I have now to play the G Lydian scale, which is the same as the A Lydian, except that from A I go to G. Right? So everything is translated by two frets, right? So I still got my E major, B major, and I should learn them actually. Let's put that B major, A Lydian. Where is this A Lydian again? All right. Yeah, that's A Lydian. D sharp diminished. So the D sharp diminished is this guy here. And then E major. Also the E sus4, which is this guy, which is beautiful. And yeah, the E here, but you also have the sorry, what is the E sus4? Alright, but this is in the key of G now, right? Alright, so my root now is G. So I can play a G sus2 chord. No, that's no. That's the A sus2. Let's have it here. Huh. Alright. Right, so that's not the lead actually. Not that easy actually. So I can play my major scale with the augmented fourth, so the Lydian. go between A and B. Okay, let's try to do something like this, but very slowly, just to change a bit. So I'm still on the A lydian that way, that's easier. So I got the C sharp pentatonic. Alright, I guess I had some connection problems. Okay, we can change the sound a little bit to make it a bit You see the fourth on the D sharp? Let's get a cleaner sound. I'm sorry. F sharp right there. So actually these are the voice part, I guess, of this I'm sorry, that's why I'm wrong. I always mix up the C sharp with the B. right there in this position, and of course it's very interesting because in those high notes you have the D sharp, which characterizes the Lydian again. F sharp, D sharp, and B. So F sharp, D sharp, and B. You see, it's the B major chord right there. You can draw it right here. B major, right there. And it goes over. Sounds nice. So the E major here, the E major voicing. Oh no, it's not this guy. D, F, D sharp, F sharp, E. D sharp, sharp, E. There we have it. D sharp, F sharp, and E. Alright. Okay, so let's try to compete with Rick Beato. That would be fun. So now that I've played around a bit with the scale, major. Oh no, A major, but you also have this guy. It's A major. What did I say? That wasn't the. Yeah, it was an E major shape, right? But that wasn't an E major chord. I'm sorry. It was this guy here, that's a B major, right? B major, sorry. No, 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 no. No, I'm right here, that's the A major. The B major is right there, sorry. A, B, it's not that complicated actually. It's right there. I'm getting lost, sorry.